confused. It's too early for you to be talking to me. So, the Leafs beat the Panthers. Is that a good thing? Of course it's a good thing. We want them to stay at a high point and maybe play the Habs in the first round. What kind of a question is that? Listen, I'm just so used to them tanking, I don't know how to feel, okay? You need to respect my emotions. Oh my god, finally! Go Canadian fire! Country!
Deal with it.
Neon smash!
Owen Grabowski.
GTFO. I got it from afar. Leafs win 4-0 over the Florida Panthers. Florida, I'm going to give you a good old tip on how to win in the Southeast Division. Stop the puck. Here's one of those stats that you can't really stumble upon. It's just got to click in your head one day. I'm watching the highlights. I'm like, man, Winnipeg can't stop a puck. Man, Tampa hasn't been able to stop a puck this season. Man, Carolina can't stop a puck. Boy, Florida can't do anything with the puck. Washington, doesn't really matter how bad they are with the puck. They got Ovechkin. And I thought, wait a minute, and turns out I was right. The 4 worst teams in the Eastern Conference in terms of goals against per game are all from the Southeast Division. In terms of the whole league, Florida is dead last in 30th, Carolina's 28th, and then it's Tampa in 26th and Winnipeg in 25th. The Caps are 18th, which is still bottom half of the league, but it's the best in their division, so they're in 3rd in the East right now. All season, you know how I've been praising Reimer? Yeah. You show me a team who can keep the puck out, and 9 times out of 10, I'll show you a pretty darn good team. And ironically, at the beginning of this game, the Leafs were playing like crap, and I'm like, perfect, they get the Panthers right where they want them. Because last game, they actually outshot an opponent for once in Tampa, but then they lost, and I'm like, stick to the script. And they come out flat against the Panthers. I'm like, perfect, and action. Leo Komarov, the pest with the best, gets his 4th of the season, and then Clark MacArthur with a nice give-and-go play that he finishes off himself. 2-0 Leafs. And then Phil the Thrill gets 2 goals. Let's talk about Phil the Thrill. Remember I had a video a couple weeks ago where I'm like, I think Kessel might be streaky. But then I showed some lovely stats from you fine folks out there on the internet showing that, no, Kessel's no more streaky than anyone else who scores. But I'm going to change my opinion actually and say, you know what? Phil Kessel's inconsistent. But Steve, doesn't streaky and inconsistent mean the same thing? Let me explain the difference. Streaky means your numbers go up and down and you have these little hot and cold streaks, hence streaky. But consistency to me is something that takes much longer, months, even years. And if you want to talk about Phil Kessel's numbers as a Leaf, they are inconsistent in that he is getting better and better and better. In his first season as a Leaf, Phil Kessel got 55 points in 70 games. That's 0.78 points per game. In his second season as a Leaf, Phil Kessel got 64 points in 82 games, which is actually 0.78 points per game. Really doesn't get more consistent than that. Last year, 82 points in 82 games for exactly 1 point a game. Pretty significant improvement. And with just 1 game to go this season, Phil Kessel has 51 points in 47 games. That's 1.08 points per game. Even higher. Kessel's goals per game are down a little bit this season from last season, but his points per game as a Leaf just get better and better and better every year. And if it didn't take him 11 games to score his first goal of the season, he'd probably be scoring at a higher click than last year. And yeah, how about that? Kessel's sitting on 19 goals. If he gets a goal in the last game, he'll have 20 in a lockout shortened season after not scoring in the first 10 games, scored in the 11th. I'm not redoing this. And when you got a guy scoring like that and someone stopping the puck like Reimer, you're going to make the playoffs. Look at me all talking about how you make the playoffs. I mean, after all these years of the Leafs not making the playoffs, I certainly know how to miss them. So I just take what it takes to miss them and reverse it. Some of you at home are like, oh yeah, score goals and then don't allow goals. This is, I can't believe I didn't think of it myself. And now the question of the game that I posed to you, fine people. Saturday night. It all comes down to this. Will the Leafs and Habs play in the first round? I want the Leafs to play the Habs so bad. And the Canadians haven't exactly been wonderful lately, but that's not why I want the Leafs to play them at all. Do you understand that if the Habs had won the President's Trophy and they were the Las Vegas favorites to win it all, I would still want the Leafs to play them. If you're a hockey fan, you got to be crazy to not want the Leafs and Habs to play each other. And the players are going to be chomping at the bit. Some of them, literally. So, a Leafs and Habs series. Is that your ideal situation coming out of Saturday, or do you want something else? That's all for this one. Thanks for watching. Post-game blog in the underbar, and I will see you on Sunday morning.